Mic check, mic check. Is that working? Yes, we're good. All right. Ooh. Okay. Sorry about that. It took a second. Um, Trying to get better at sharing. So hold on. Let me do one more. Uh, let's see. That's actually what I should have done. So my apologies beforehand. All right. Let's see. Cool. Okay. Hold on. Let me get rid of this. All right. So thank you. Welcome back to the Larry Coyote Show. Special Friday morning episode because I think my energy might be a little higher during the morning naturally than it would be during the afternoon. I should start by apologizing about the hair. That might be a reason I haven't posted lately. I got the Sam Donaldson look. And if you don't know who Sam Donaldson is, Google him. He's an old um, journalist, reporter. But anyway, let's get right to it. I want to keep it brief. I want to talk about, hold on. I want to talk about this weekend's fights. As you guys know, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, and that's a rematch. The first fight actually was here in LA about a year ago. I attended that along with my friend Joel, and it was a great fight. I had Fury winning probably most of the fight overwhelmingly. However, he did get dropped twice. So if you get dropped twice, you immediately lose 4 rounds right off the top. So all Wilder had to do was win 2 out of the 12. And then the rest were going to be givens. So the fight ended in a draw, which I think was a fair outcome based on the events that occurred. Furthermore, fast forward about a year, I think Wilder's had about 2 or 3 fights. Fury's had about 2 or 3 fights. Out of those 2 or 3, Fury has actually scored 1 knockout. Wilder scored 2 or 3 consecutive knockouts. He's pretty much knocked everyone out who he's fought, except for Bermane Stiverne the first time and Tyson Fury this last time. So this second fight is the rematch to settle the score on what turned out to be a draw. And I think the winner of this fight is actually going to become the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. Deontay has a WBC belt, as many of you know. Tyson Fury is the lineal champ after beating Klitschko, but he went through some inactivity. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about what I will expect. I do expect a lot of fireworks. I expect the fight not to go 12 rounds and possibly end in a knockout. One of the reasons that I'm sort of leaning towards a heavy knockout by Wilder this time around are 2 reasons. One, I don't know if any of you guys caught the press conference yesterday, but it was actually pretty heated. It ended with Deontay Wilder. I think he was triggered, to be honest with you. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm not wearing any hair product. There's no reason to put fucking anything on this kind of big of hair anytime soon. So, he was really triggered. And one of the reasons I think that he was triggered was that Deontay feels he's his own man, and he doesn't feel like he gets the credit he probably deserves for being the WBC champion of the world. Tyson Fury said to Deontay Wilder, "Welcome to big time boxing." And Deontay snapped. He brought up probably some of the more unsavory details about Tyson Fury's life that honestly are kind of a low blow, in my opinion. Tyson Fury, after winning the championship, went into depression, drug use. He ballooned in weight. He went from, I'm going to say, mid 200s to low 300s. He gained almost 100 pounds after he stopped fighting. By his own admission, used a lot of coke and struggled with depression and thoughts of suicide. He was able to bounce back. He lost over 100 pounds, stayed sober, came back, fought Wilder to a draw, to his credit. That's really tough. That's a really tough undertaking for you to do a 180 on your life after being, after actually nosediving. Is very tough to do. So tough that I don't think that these episodes can kind of repeat themselves. It's almost like a lightning strikes twice, in my opinion. So that to me makes it a challenge for Tyson Fury to be able to. He pretty much has to perform at exactly the same level he did a year ago, or better, because you have to assume that Wilder has only gotten better. And in addition to that, one small detail is Tyson Fury's actually suffered a lot of eye cuts, really nasty ones, to be honest with you. So I don't see him actually getting to the same tip-top shape he did a year ago, or better. And he's going to need that and more in order to beat Deontay Wilder, in my opinion. So, based on that factor, I don't see it. But during the press conference, after Tyson Fury said to Wilder, "Welcome to big time boxing," he said, "Don't you ever tell me that. Don't you ever talk to me like that. When I found you, you were strung out on coke. You were as big as a house, contemplating about killing yourself. I took you out of that. I put food on your family's table so they could eat. So don't ever tell me welcome to big time boxing. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be where you are." That was followed by several seconds of awkward silence from Tyson Fury. He seemed to sort of recover and repeated his welcome to big time boxing, but I think that the verbal damage had sunk in, and I saw something. I don't want to be one of those guys, but I think it seemed like it hurt his feelings. I think. Now, there's been some chatter. So to conclude the press conference, Wilder has already won the verbal sparring. Not that there's a lot of merit or credit to be given in it, but I think in this instance it deserves a critical look, let's say. And it might lend something to what the outcome might be. So I want to go out on a limb and say that Tyson Fury is going to get knocked the fuck out. Deontay Wilder is on record of saying that he wants to actually kill somebody in the ring. Not my words. Those are his words. So the clickbait headline says that. Deontay Wilder by murder. Now, of course, in all seriousness, we don't really want that to happen. But based on what those guys have said, I figured I would clickbait it. Everybody's doing it these days, so why not? So my prediction is Wilder by devastating KO, possibly murder. Joke. And there's been some chatter of Tyson Fury coming in overweight. Speaking of. there's been further chatter that the depression dark cloud has returned and that he hasn't been training the way he should. Now, that's the chatter. I don't know. But all of these factors combined was enough for me to put a pretty sizable bet on Deontay Wilder. I put half of it on an outright win, whatever it be. And the other half is staggered in between rounds 1 through 12 knockouts. So that's the horse I'm betting on. Further, Deontay Wilder is the American champion. I'm Team USA all the way, so you know I got to represent Deontay Wilder Bomb Squad, baby. Before I conclude this, let me just do a special shout out. I've been mentioning this kid for a while, Vergil Ortiz. I really like the kid. Did anybody catch Ryan Garcia's Valentine's Day Massacre? What is it, last week? Devastating knockout. Congratulations also to Jorge Linares, El Niño de Oro. And for knocking out the homie, Carlos the Solution Morales. Hopefully he can bounce back from that. But anyway, shout out to Vergil Ortiz. During, in between fights last week, the Zone interviewed him and Oscar De La Hoya, and Vergil Ortiz said something that I love to hear young people say. As many of you guys might or might not know, he's on the 147 Shark Tank where all the welterweights fight. And he said, I want to fight the top welterweights within a year. If I could fight him now, I would, paraphrasing. But don't let this fight marinate, meaning don't wait because I'm only getting better. Your chances are going down by the day. Your chances are going down by the day if you don't fight me now. If you guys know, Vergil Ortiz is a very, very young guy. And honestly, his trajectory is to the stars. He's shooting to the stars. At this point, I think this is probably his most vulnerable that he's going to be. I can see him being a dominant powerhouse in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So in some sense, to me, it does hit home when I hear him talk like that. I don't see anybody beating him in a matter of years, but I do see a lot of top guys giving him a hard time and possibly beating him up as a kid right now, the way Mayweather did Canelo when he was a younger guy. Like, fight him now if you're going to. Don't wait. I think he's really calling out the PBC stable. I know those guys want to play musical chairs and keep the money in-house, but it's going to get to the point where at some point, one of them is going to have to step outside the circle and clash with some of the DAZN guys. And I think the strongest guy there is Vergil Ortiz. Part of it being that he comes from the Robert Garcia camp, and you know he's getting that training in with Mikey Garcia, who's smaller but has every single trick in the playbook. Vergil Ortiz is not smaller. He's at the right weight with the ability to get bigger. So anyway, to conclude, I'll leave it at that, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I want to come back and talk a little bit about the Democratic debates, just because there was some funny highlights that I think I want to embellish. And just, keep talking my talk, mentioning random things here and there. But on more often than not, we'll keep it at boxing just because it's a good exercise for me. And that's it. Have a good one. Take care.